Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the second part of the Remembering Kobe Bryant series. I'm your host, Max Danielsen, and joining me right now on the show is our second guest that was on the Max Danielsen Show when we first launched it. That is Mr. Jackson Epps. So, Jackson, welcome back onto the show.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime, man. Like I said to Jordan, it's really hard to believe that Kobe Bryant's gone now. It really is.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's very upsetting.
I personally was in disbelief about the whole thing. Like, it just doesn't seem like Kobe. Like, I always felt like deep down that this was fake. Kobe Bryant was going to come back because that's how Kobe Bryant was.
Yeah, he was just that type of guy that he'd always come back from adversity, and I couldn't believe it either. I texted you.
Yeah,
I was like, I might cry.
Like, man, I was. It ruined my entire weekend. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, the first thing, and that's a perfect way to get into that with our first question being, what Kobe meant to you personally? Because I know for me personally, Kobe was all about adversity. If I can come back and do it, why can't you? That was his whole thing. That's Mamba mentality. If I could do it, why can't you? That's what Kobe meant to me. Just always challenging people to be their best person, basically.
Yeah, Kobe wasn't like necessarily like I didn't view him as an idol because of his ability on the basketball floor, which I did. Like, I loved him, but I wasn't really a Kobe fan until after he retired, and it was mostly his quotes and his book Mamba Mentality, and just
which I've heard is a really, really good book.
Yeah, I got it like 2 weeks before the accident happened, and it just there's stuff in there that just show who he really is and his mindset, and that's what defined Kobe. It wasn't what he did on the floor; it's what he did off the floor.
Right, and even so with his family, I know everything. He was a humongous father figure for his kids. He always made sure that, and the reason why, and I figured this out, why he took helicopter was he wanted to be able to go get his kids from school. He wanted that family time that was being taken up because of traffic. As we all know, as Los Angeles traffic is completely terrible, and he wanted that time to be with his kids and be that father figure that at sometimes he said he never really had when he was a kid. Especially his dad was in the NBA for a little while as well. He wanted to be there for his kids, and that was his biggest priority in his life. Not just basketball, but as well just being there for his family, because he was a family man. Simple as that. He really was. So going on then, I want to ask you, what is your favorite memory of Kobe?
My favorite memory of Kobe, the most memorable one is his last final game, because that's
a storybook ending right there.
Yeah, just closed a great chapter of his whole career.
Even so, ESPN reran the Kobe Bryant, the finale game, and I know we both watched that.
Yeah.
And I forgot how remarkable that game was.
Yeah, it was even better
just
to
for
watch
what
again.
Kobe did in that game. Because he scored almost 40 of his points in the second half.
Yeah, we were watching it, and it says his score at the bottom.
Yeah.
And it's 3 minutes left, and he's got 48.
Yeah.
He's going to score 12 points, and it was insane.
But we'll go on here then. So, of course, with Kobe Bryant being out of the year, or out of the NBA for just a little over a while now, barely 5 years. It doesn't even feel like that, because I remember we were watching it. Russell Westbrook was still on the Thunder.
Yeah,
KD was still on the Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
CP3 was still on the Clippers. There was a lot of other guys that were completely on different teams. But I want to ask you, with that, now Kobe Bryant being completely gone, what is the game of basketball like now?
The game of basketball doesn't change itself, but most of the players that knew him for the next 10 years is going to be a little different, just because they were personally close with him. But
and especially teenagers growing up and
yeah,
Kobe being their idol.
They're all gonna want to do it for Kobe, especially this season. LeBron's about to go off, and it's just, I don't know. It brought the best out in everyone.
Yeah.
Sadly, it had to be this, but it brought everyone together and brought out the best in every player.
Now, one thing that a lot of players that had the numbers 8 and 24, they are changing their numbers. Do you think that's something that teams should look for to retire that 8 and 24? Or do you think that should be a personal thing that players decide? Because I know the Dallas Mavericks have already said officially that they're retiring 24 in honor of Kobe Bryant because him and Mark Cuban had a really close relationship.
Yeah, I don't think they should change it for the whole. I mean, retire it throughout the league. But if players want to do that, that's fine because like it's a great honor to him. But he probably wouldn't even.
Right.
Want
I mean, heck, he probably didn't even want his 8 and 24 retired. If we're being completely honest, it's the most Kobe thing to be said about that is just he did his job. That's what he wanted to do. That's what he loved to do, and he did it because that was what was required of him, and that's how Kobe Bryant is.
And he did even more than what was required.
Exactly, he really did. And then the final question I have for you. How does the NBA carry on Kobe's legacy? They just announced today that the teams for the All-Star Game are going to be wearing number 2 and 24 in memory of Gianna and Kobe, and then wearing a 9-starred patch in honor for all 9 of those lives that were taken during that helicopter crash. Do you think the logo is the best way to do that, or do you think there's a different way they could do that?
I think if they're Jerry West is logo now, and he's one of the most humble guys there is, and he's said before that he wants to, like, he doesn't really even want to be a logo anymore. Like he said, there's time for a change, and this is the perfect time to change it now since Kobe's passed, and there's other ways like this. The All-Star thing that's a great way to honor him.
I like the numbers thing, but then they did something else, and me and Jordan were talking about it, like that they're basically gonna wait. So once the third quarter ends, there's no time limit then, and it's just whoever scores 24.
Yeah,
which I get is cool, but at the same time, that it took me about 5 minutes or so to figure out what the heck was going on.
It's confusing, but yeah, they can. There is like the people changing their numbers. Like, I don't know. They can change it, but I don't think they should retire it, like, league-wide.
Do you think it'd be a good idea to change the name of the NBA trophy for Kobe Bryant? Like, to name it the Kobe Bryant?
That'd be cool. That'd be a good way to honor him, too. But that
what
won't
would you
happen.
say would be the most effective way, then?
I don't know. I'd probably go with the logo.
The logo?
Yeah. His fadeaway.
That'd be nice. That'd be a nice logo.
I've seen some, like, what people think it'd look like.
I know there's a petition going out. Doesn't it have like 700,000 sign or it's something. I saw it today, but there's like 700,000 people that have already signed this petition.
Yeah.
So maybe the logo gets changed. Maybe it doesn't. I know they're going to honor him though at the Super Bowl this year. In pop culture, I know Lil Wayne put on his newest album a 24-second moment of silence in honor of Kobe Bryant. I know many soccer teams, because Kobe being a soccer fan, have honored him at the beginning of practice. I know even UConn, they laid out a number 2 for Gianna during one of their games. And then most recently, the Brooklyn Nets a couple nights ago, the 2 seats, that meme that went around a couple weeks ago with Kobe and Gianna, they left those 2 seats open for them during the game versus, I don't know who do they play that game? I totally forget. But they left 2 seats open in memory of them, and those were the exact 2 seats that they were sitting in when that once a meme, now a perfect example of a father and daughter relationship. So, Jackson, I just want to say thank you again so much for coming on the show and just helping out with this. It's always great to have especially returning guests on the show, so thank you once again.
Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. So that is going to wrap up here part 2 of this. Make sure to go check out part 3 when it comes out. If you are seeing this later on, it will be the next video in this series. So thanks again, and again, make sure to check out part 3.